Let's look at some more definitions that will help us in the future, not necessarily with proofs, but just when we're asked for, when there's questions or problems that use certain terms that we know exactly what they're talking about so that we can go forward with that proof. Very simple and basic definitions here. We're going to look at the definition of a trapezoid and some parts of it, and a certain kind of trapezoid, as you can see as well down here. And so a trapezoid is literally just a quadrilateral, so it has four sides, a quadrilateral with two sides parallel. And so it's pretty basic there. A quadrilateral is a polygon with four sides, and two of those sides are parallel. And so on this one, it's pretty obvious which two sides are parallel in this figure here. Those would be parallel. These ones look like they're going to intersect, but there may be some people or textbooks or whatever you might come across in geometry that might have those kind of problems where they will tell you that these are parallel. That's the given, and obviously you would just assume that the picture was drawn incorrectly. You always assume that the given is correct and the picture is incorrect. So if you were given that these two sides, AD and BC, are parallel, you'll just roll with it. You'll just work with it. However, our eyes would tell us that would probably not be necessarily true, but we would just assume the picture was drawn inaccurately and that the given is true. All right, the bases of a trapezoid are the parallel sides. So the bases are the parallel sides. And so AB and DC would be our bases. This would be a base, and that would be a base. Any of the parallel sides are the bases. The legs are the non-parallel sides. Pretty basic, the non-parallel sides. So the other two sides would be the legs. That would be a leg, and this would be a leg. The median of a trapezoid. A median of a trapezoid is a little bit different than a median of a triangle. Median of a triangle has a line coming from a vertex bisecting the opposite side of that triangle. But a median of a trapezoid is a line joining, oh mamma mia, joining the midpoints, I should say, of the legs. So if we had our two legs here and we wanted to draw a median, we'd go from the midpoint of this leg to the midpoint of the other leg. And so this is what a median may look like. And we're going to learn some interesting facts about a median of a trapezoid, just for future reference and maybe whet your appetite. The median is parallel to both the bases, and we're going to also see that it's half the sum of both the bases, which is interesting. Pretty cool property that it has, or couple properties. Altitude of a trapezoid is a line from any point in one base perpendicular to the other base. Again, most of the time it's going to come from a vertex in one base and perpendicular to the other base, but for some odd reason you may at some point see a line coming from one base, and these have the same distances. And so we've learned that since these are parallel, we would have the same distance everywhere between two parallel lines. So these would be the same distance, so that's why many people might say the altitude of a trapezoid could come from any point in one base perpendicular to the other, but typically you will see that they come from a vertex. So that's some of the basics of trapezoids there. Let's talk quickly about an isosceles trapezoid. This is a trapezoid, obviously. Trapezoid whose legs are equal. Pretty basic there. So we could say that AD and BC are equal to each other. They're not parallel, but they are equal. If they were parallel and equal, then it wouldn't be a trapezoid. Obviously, it'd just be a parallelogram. And it may or may not be a rectangle or square or whatever. We could definitely say that it's a parallelogram. So it can't be parallel. The legs can't be parallel if it's a trapezoid, but they still can be equal to each other. And they'd also have the same kind of things as well. You could have a median, you could have an altitude. And so those are just some basic definitions of a trapezoid that will help us in the next videos to come.